just dropped little man off at practice, and this property's like 10 minutes away. Got like an hour and a half to scout, so why not? It's a smaller property. I've only hunted this a handful of times, never seen anything mature. However, I have a buddy who hunts the private that's adjacent to this, and 2 seasons ago there was a really big 10 that was using a small section of public. So my goal today is if he was really bedded on this property, which he was running in here, you know, like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. So I imagine he was. So that's what I'm gonna do today, is try to look for his sign of where he was bedded. He might not even be alive anymore, but if there is gonna be a big one that uses this, he's probably gonna end up using that same area that 10 did. Got a few spots that I wanna check out on the map, look interesting. I haven't scouted this in years. Matter of fact, when I was scouting this, I was still pretty relatively new into hunting and not really knowing how to scout efficiently. So it's thick. It is super thick. I was just standing out there, came walking down this trail, goes this way in front of me, and I got one that goes here into all this thicket. So just gonna poke my head in and see if I see any buck sign. Just a doe, huh? I'm not seeing anything for rubs back here. Man, look at this trail. I can't see a mature buck walking through this, but I'd have branches snapped off up here. Well, let's just check it out. I'm coming in on this trail, and it's beat down pretty good. Looks like sometimes this way. Oh yeah, there's a bed right there. No rubs. I keep following this trail. I'm still standing in the same spot. That bed was right there. There's another one on the opposite side right here. Yeah, there's another bed. There's some beds. Looks like there's a trail that goes this way. There's a bed right there. This is snapped off. Alright. Ooh, there's a bigger bush tree, whatever. It almost looks like buckthorn. Let's go check it out. That's where this trail's going. Oh, here's a bed. Right there. This just seems like doe bedding. A lot of beds in here, not a single rub. Get up to this. Oh, just kidding. This is what we're looking for. Let's go. Yes, okay. I just poked me right in the goddamn eye. Dude. That's where this is on me. That's above my belly button. There's a good one laying here. How does he get in and out of here? That's not something you want to see, but it's super old. Let's see if he's rubbing this thing in. Oh, I missed that. He's laying right here. Pretty much anywhere around this thing. Oh, man. So it looks like it's just the rubs on that one side. But look, he can lay anywhere in here. Okay, look at that. So here is this bush, and that is my truck. I don't know if you can see it. Oh man, he's got this dialed in. And there's ag that way. He's got to be leaving that way. Let's see if there's possibly a bigger opening somewhere. This is like the main trail, so I'll follow this. The trail I just followed actually leads right to the road, to cross the road and then go to the ag. So I'm working my way back to that bed, kind of back to where I started. Opening up there is where that bed was with the rubs. I followed that trail out. This is a pretty decent one. I can see a buck walking down, being able to get his rack through. Let's follow this. It is nasty back here. I don't know, man. Whew. It's thick back here. It almost seems like that trail that I followed to the road that led to that bed is the trail he's going to use. It's the most open, but still has a good amount of cover, and he doesn't have to move far. Getting back to where I originally walked into this thicket. Okay. See, I walked in here and then went that way and just milled around that whole thing. One good bed in there. Really good, really tall rub. It's got to be a good deer. It's a pretty, it's actually on the opposite side of where that 10 was coming in at. So I'd be surprised if he worked his way all the way there from where he came in at. Yeah, I've been walking probably 60, 70 yards from where I just was. There's a bunch of trails that cut into this thicket. If I had more time, I would just mill around in that thicket. But I don't. So I'm just gonna continue to follow the edge, hoping that a buck laid down sign going into the thicket rather than waiting until it's in the thicket to lay down the sign. But I'll tell you what, there's not much sign at all. There's deer tracks everywhere. This has got to be a human trail. I know from running cameras, there was people fishing on this side of it. No buck sign at all. Alright, I'm about to walk out into one of those spots I want to check out. So this spot's just real open. Obviously this grass is going to get super tall during the early season. I'm going to check where I'm at on the map before I miss something. Oh, it's that opening. I followed a trail all the way into here and then ended up seeing little tacks on the tree from someone entering and exiting. So we'll get out of there. I didn't see any buck sign anyway. I'm just going to continue to follow this edge, but I know we're coming up on high ground right here where you see the taller trees. We'll get in there and check that out. Just following this edge. You can see right there, there's a bed there. There's a bed there. Right on the edge, watching out. Let's see if this is a trail that goes into this high ground. There's a bed right there. One right here. Alright, well, it's not a trail, but it's a bed. No rubs. It's cold. Oh, here we go. Okay. Yeah, this is high ground. I thought for sure I'd see rubs right when we got in here. Nothing. Just gonna keep following the edge of this and see what I find. I've been following this trail for a while, nice and slow, and I have not seen a single rub in here. I'm starting to think there's more pressure on this property than I'm thinking. I literally have not seen a rub since we found that bed with the rub in it, which could be the case. It might have so much pressure that they're just not laying down rubs, or there's no need to because there isn't any bucks to compete with if a big one like that is living here. Alright, so I was way over there, came walking this way. It's a really small rub, but something. Man, is that a trail? It sure is. We're gonna follow that. Wow. So I just came walking down this beaten trail. It's a historic rub right there. Real old. Nothing new. Nothing different from the last few seasons. Nice little high spot right here. Rubs. You would think if one wants to live, it'd be in something like this. I'm gonna mill around in here. See if I find anything. Oh, here's an old historic. Not bad. Looks like, yeah, there's a rub out there. Again, I just thought I'd see a lot more sign. Oh, let's go. There we go. That's a decent one. Looks like it's just coming right in off the private. Okay. Good rub was up there on the transition. Instead of continuing to follow it, I followed a really beaten down trail that came in here, and there's just pockets of beds everywhere. And this has got a historic on it. That's got a historic on it. Something beds right here. I mean, look at this. Another cave for a bed. Just not seeing any buck sign around them other than the historics. That rub was out there. The trail splits off this way, splits off this way. That's where I just was. It comes this way. So I walked through around that bigger tree there, walked down this way. Real high historic rubs right here. Nothing fresh though. At least it shows me, like for example, I wasn't finding any historics right when I first started scouting that other transition. And then once I got back into this swampier, nasty stuff, all the historics are here, the fresher rub is here, so the majority of my buck sign is back here. Where I was talking about all those historics were out there. Rather than walk out into the opening that eventually meets up with the high ground over here, I walked back to the transition that I found that really good rub on and continued to walk it straight down. I see something up here. Oh, look at that. Here we go. There's some decent rubs up here as well. Oh yeah. That's at my hip. Look at these ones back here. Yeah, that's good. It's a really low spot right here. But look at these rubs. It's probably bedded right here. Look at that. I'm also running out of camera light. I'm gonna go back and film those rubs just because I don't know how good you can see them on the GoPro. Look at this. Rubbed, rubbed, rubbed. Coming in on this trail. Look how open this is back here. I can just walk around and be completely in cover. Okay, I know where this leads to. So we're just about done scouting this. To be honest, it reminds me of when I did scout this years ago. All of the buck sign is still right in the same spot that it was years ago. So the next time I come in here, I'll probably give this a shot at some point during the season. The next time I come in here, maybe to hang cameras, I'll pinpoint my tree. But it's getting pretty dark.